Sasa leo, he has come up with another con game deception. Very big one.
Gachagua has already given out what President Ruto is going to talk about today on the Beyond 2030 vision. This man Gachagua is a genius. He's a political scientist. Hiyo ndio siasa. Now, today, the president is planning as from 9 a.m. the morning to give a state of the nation and the plans beyond Vision 2030 at KICC. Rigathi Gachagua had already said it. He's going to talk about 2060, Vision 2060. How can you talk about Vision 2060 while Vision 2030 that Kibaki planned for, you've destroyed it? Why are you going to 2060 while things that you promised before 2027, you haven't done anything? What are we going to do in 2060? Nini tunaenda kufanya in 2060? Hata yeye mwenyewe hatafika 2060. I'm very much sure Ruto cannot be there in 2060. 100%. All these people in government will never be there in 2060. Someone who is 40 years can never be there in 2060. So the only person who may be there is Babu Owino, because Babu Owino is 40. Ukimwongezea ingine kama 40, itakuwa imefika 60, 80. So Ruto, why are you talking about 2060 while you don't know whether you'll be there? Talk about 2027. Talk about things that you promised Kenyans. Talk about what you have done that we have not seen. Why are you heading to 20? Why are you heading to 2060? Who will be there? Common sense. So I want you to listen to Rigathi Gachagua's take on President William Ruto's 2060 vision. He has already addressed the nation. He has already given out the reason. He has already exposed. I don't know. The intentions he has from State House is very high. Wale watu ambao wanampea taarifa ni watu wamemakinika sana. When I grow up, I want to be like Rigathi. When I will grow up, I want to be like Rigathi. Just listen to him. Listen to what he is saying.
Tena umekuwa ni uongozi wa uongo. Anaahidi hii, anasema baada ya mwezi 6. 6 months. Itakuwa imefanyika 6 months. Sasa ametoka kwa 6 months, anaenda 2060. Si umesikia? Ametoka ile mambo ya 6 months. Sasa anapeana hadi ya 20. Sasa unajua sasa ati amepanga mkutano tarehe 12 Nairobi ya kudanganya wa Kenya. Ati ataita watu ya kanisa, aita watu ya biashara, kuwadanganya tu. Ati ile mpango wako naye ati ya 2060. Na ile kazi tumempatia ameharibu. Ameharibu haja haribu. Kwa hivyo nimekuwa hapa na mazungumzo na ni mzuri mmekuja kuniona, pia mnipatie maoni yenu. Hii Kenya tutarekebisha vipi? Hasa kutafuta kiongozi mmoja wa upinzani wa kupambana na yeye.
Olongai land, about 167,000 people are at the risk of eviction as this land is being grabbed. Egerton University land, Oscar Sudi, Samburu, and William Ruto have grabbed 2,000 acres of land meant for the university, where they are doing wheat farming. Patriotic Kenyans, health has long been one of Kenya's foremost national priorities. Building on the gains made at Kenya Vision 2030, the Kenya Kwanza administration committed itself to delivering universal health coverage by guaranteeing every Kenyan access to affordable quality health care. The plan pledged to realize the constitutional right to health through a reformed national health insurance scheme founded on the principle of leaving no one behind. To implement this commitment, the government replaced the National Health Insurance Fund, NHIF, with a failed and fraudulent scheme called SHA that has left millions of Kenyans on their own. The discontinuation of Linda Mama and Edu Afia on December 31st, 2023, has left significant gaps in healthcare coverage In 2022, Edu Afia provided medical cover to 3.4 million secondary school students at an annual cost of 3.2 billion. Today, approximately 4.1 million secondary school students no longer enjoy that medical cover, leaving parents to bear the full cost of treatment. Mr. William Ruto had committed to addressing the inequities in Kenya's education system so as to level the playing field for all children irrespective of their background. He further committed to equitable universal basic education defined as 12 years of schooling. He further committed himself to protecting and strengthening the gains made under free primary education and free day secondary education, while ensuring that every Kenyan child had access to quality, affordable, and equitable education. He also pledged to strengthen higher education financing and invest in the nation's human capital. The William Ruto government inherited landmark education reforms introduced by previous administrations. Free primary education launched in 2003, free day secondary education introduced in 2018, that had significantly expanded access to education for millions of Kenyan children. The commitment was not only to preserve these gains, but to build upon them by ensuring adequate capitation, sustainable financing, and improved access to quality education for all. In the words of the third president of the Republic of Kenya, the best president we have ever had, Mzee Mwai Kibaki, and he said, and I quote, "Education is the ultimate means of ensuring an equitable society. Equitable education ensures that every child has a chance to fulfill their potential and rise to the highest level of accomplishment," close quote. 4 years later, the government has caused irreparable instability and confusion in the education sector. The gains made by the previous administration under free primary education and free day secondary education have been eroded to dust. Secondary school parents now shoulder substantially higher education costs, while the level of government capitation has failed to keep pace with inflation and rising operation costs. The capitation rate established in 2017 was 22,000 per student. However, today's schools receive only 9,000 per student during the previous financial year, creating a significant funding gap. Our public universities are facing unprecedented financial distress. University debt has increased from 60 billion in August 2022 to approximately 100.3 billion Kenya shillings, representing an increase of Kenya shillings 40.3 billion, or about 67% increase. As a result, many institutions are experiencing severe financial challenges that will affect the delivery of quality education. Further, we have had 2 university financing models in 2 years. Measured against the commitment to strengthen education, protect free basic education, and improve access to higher education, the evidence presented suggests that the sector has experienced significant setbacks, placing greater financial pressure on families and creating uncertainty for learners and institutions alike. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. William Ruto pledged to invest 250 billion Kenya shillings into the agricultural sector to shift the country from food security to surplus production. Recognizing its strategic importance, he pledged to transform the agricultural sector by increasing productivity, improving farmer incomes, and revitalizing key value chains. The administration committed itself to revamping underperforming export crops, expanding emerging high-value crops, strengthening the tea value chain, supporting food security, and promoting agro-processing as a driver of economic growth. Despite the commitments made, our farmers have experienced increased economic hardship. Net incomes have reduced due to increased cost of inputs, higher taxation rates, high transport and distribution costs due to reclassification of VAT status. Agriculture continues to receive approximately 2% of the national budget, significantly below the African Union 10% target under the Maputo Declaration. The tea sector has faced considerable challenges over the past 4 years. This is due to the deterioration of Kenya's economic and diplomatic relations with Sudan. historically one of the largest buyers at the Mombasa tea auction. Sudan's annual consumption of Kenyan tea declined from approximately 10.7 million kilograms to about 1.7 million kilograms, leaving substantial volumes of tea unsold. But why has this happened? Mr. William Ruto's appetite for business and money has failed Kenya. His close association with the Sudan's RSF warlord, Mr. Hemeti, in illegal trade of gold in exchange for weapons, has reversed the gains we have made. These internationally sanctioned war criminals live in Kenya under state protection and have been issued with diplomatic passports and ID cards by Kipchumba Murkomen. U.S. Senator Jim Risch, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, while noting Kenya's NATO ally status, criticized William Ruto during a May 2025 hearing. Senator Risch questioned Kenya's loyalty following its facilitation and hosting of Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces, RSF. Rice farmers in Ahero, West Kano, Bunyala, Bura, and Mwea have also faced significant challenges. Although rice was identified as a strategic import substitution crop, import volumes approaching 1 million metric tons annually have depressed local paddy prices, leaving many farmers with unsold stock. Just recently, on 6 July 2026, William Ruto authorized the gazettement of duty-free importation of 490,000 metric tons of grade 1 milled white rice before 30th November, June 26. It estimates that this represents a missed economic opportunity exceeding 100 billion Kenya shillings if domestic production had been given priority before this duty-free window was open. Even though state sugar mills have been leased to private sector players associated with William Ruto, their principal business model is to import sugar instead of purchasing locally grown sugar from farmers. This has left 320,000 small-scale sugarcane farmers now facing an uncertain future. The targeted turning of 2 million poor farmers from food deficit to surplus producers using input finance and agricultural extension support. To date, show me one farmer in Kenya who can come forward as a testimonial. Instead, this farmer has nothing. In fact, small-scale farmers in Mwea and Ahero are currently in court trying to salvage their crop after government gazetted the importation of 490,000 metric tons of rice for importation. Tea farmers are crying. A 0.8% levy has been introduced, and this